So we're going to use an applet in StatCrunch. So we're going to click Open StatCrunch and go into applets to find the sampling distributions list there. From that list, we're going to choose a uniform distribution. So we're going to go into that site so that we can see how this works. All right, so you can see I've opened StatCrunch. We don't need any data for this, so it's just a blank spreadsheet. And we're going to go up to applets, and we're going to choose sampling distributions. Okay, so in that window that appears under population, we're going to choose uniform, since again we're going to pick up with the same example we just started with the commuters, and that distribution was uniform over the interval from 0 to 50. And let's see, we are going to scroll down, and under statistics we want this to say mean because we're looking at the sampling distribution of the mean. Okay, there's other things that we could look at here, but in this case we are looking at the mean for that distribution. And then we can scroll down to the bottom and hit compute. And we see this uniform distribution that opened up, uniform over 0 to 50, and off to the side here we're given some information, and these are for the population. So this mean here is actually mu sub x, this median, and then our standard deviation here is sigma sub x. Okay. So now off to the side here we can choose our sample size. So we can type in whatever sample size it is that we want to see there. And then the first few times that we run this applet, we're going to just hit one time where it's going to take a single sample of however many we've stated here so that we can actually see the individual values fall on this middle graph. And then from those values it will compute one sample mean that will then be plotted on the bottom graph here where it says sample means underneath. Alright, so on the next page in the book there I have some captured view screens of when I had done this at the time that I had put those in the textbook page there. Keep in mind these are random samples, so you're not going to get, and I'm not going to get, the exact same thing here that I got on the picture that's in the textbook, but we are going to summarize some of the information with some rules that these numbers do have to follow as we start taking these samples. All right, so in this case we're going to take a sample of size 10, so where it has a 2 here we're going to delete that and put in a sample of size 10. And I'm going to click this button up here where it just says one time. That means it's going to take one sample of 10 commuters from this population. We're going to ask each one of those commuters how long you had to wait for the train, and we're going to see those 10 individual values plotted here, and then the one sample mean from those 10 plotted on the graph below. So we're going to click one time. And we can see the 10 individual values that fell here along with the one sample mean from those particular 10 data points that were collected. So let's click one time again. And we can see we got slightly different values here. And again, looks different from the ones in the book as well. If we reset that and do one time again, and keeping in mind again only 10 data points, but again looks somewhat uniform, but again we have lots of gaps in here because again we're taking a really small sample here from this data set, and again our one sample mean that falls below here. Okay. So if we do this several times we should notice some things as we're doing these. So with each one of these we're getting, again down here, these are our sample means, so this is our value of x bar. Okay, so in this case x bar for this particular sample was 22.4047. But the mean from which we took that population, the mean of the population is 25. So we can see we didn't get 25 for the sample mean, but we got something fairly close to 25, even though our sample size here was relatively small at only 10.